screen on. We're going to talk about the approach, because when you get started in this business, the number one thing that you have to master is the door approach. If you are not getting into doors, you're not going to be doing presentations, and then you're not going to be making money, right? So the first thing that you have to really master is the approach. I know we just talked about the call ahead on the conference call, and that is a really great thing to implement into your business. In the beginning of anything that you do, you're probably not going to be great at it, right? So don't just assume you're going to get into every door, but you do want to master it. What we do is very simple, but it is not easy. But if you will truly take time to master these few things within the approach, practice it, get confident in it, you will start getting into majority of the doors that you're knocking. You want to be getting into at least 50%, especially right out the gate. If you're not, perfect opportunity for you to call your coach and say, hey, I've knocked 10 doors and only got into one that I've spoke to. A door knock means that you have spoke to someone at the door. I've had 10 approaches, talked to 10 people, only got into one house. It's time to do a call, right? You don't want to go the rest of that day continuing to get told no. You need to stop, call your coach so that you can tweak whatever you may be doing wrong and then be able to get into the door. So let's break this down. When it comes to door knocking, of course, we're working leads, right? Or maybe we're knocking neighbors. Either way, any type of lead, it is just an excuse to be at the door. Nothing else, just an excuse to be at the door. I just wanted to make sure that you guys do see we have so many lead types available through the CRM, through Integrity, Mutual of Omaha, Facebook leads. We have so many types of leads available, as you see on your screen. Over to the side of the free leads, these are a few websites. If you do not have them saved on your home screen on your phone, screenshot this list and go and save these websites on the home screen of your phone. This is where you can find many, many free leads. Fast People Search, Nuber, Voter Records. If you're in a neighborhood and you see a house with a Thank You Jesus sign, or a house with a ramp, a beautiful garden, a Buick in the driveway, look up that house number if you would like a name to go and knock that door. Use these. They're free. They're free for you. Additional leads, just more opportunity, because we know this is a number-based business. So, of course, the more doors you knock, the more money you're going to make. So make sure that you are trying to get every single opportunity. And I'll tell you something, I've been in this business for 5 years now, and I will get a lead for a house. I'll sell that lead and I'll go back to my car and think, that'd be a really good senior's house, but I don't go knock it. I kid you not. 3 weeks later, I'll get a lead for that house. Go ahead and tackle that opportunity while you're there. Don't sleep on it. Don't wait to get a lead weeks later. Go ahead and knock those neighbors. And if you want a name, there's plenty of ways to achieve that name by using these sites. You can screenshot this so you don't have to write every single one down, or you're more than welcome to write them down. But I will share this presentation so that you guys can have it at your disposal. So a few key things before you go to knock. Number one, you want to be confident in your approach. Seniors are street smart. If you're not confident, they're not going to be confident in you. So they're not going to let you in. You have to be confident when you go to that door. You want to know your approach. You don't want to be pausing a lot or stumbling over your words, fidgeting at the door. You want to be there on purpose for a purpose. When UPS comes to your door, they don't wait around, right? They're rushing on up, knocking, giving you that package, and then they're off to the next. You want to kind of have that same mentality. They requested you, and you were there to give them what they requested, which is help when it comes to the state regulated benefits, right? You also want to be dressed for success. You don't want to be in a suit and tie, but you also don't want to be in holy jeans and a raggedy t-shirt, right? Or look like you just rolled out of bed. You want to look presentable. You want to have your hair fixed. You want to have on maybe an NASB polo, a nice t-shirt, or a nice dressy shirt. I typically will wear dark jeans or black capris. I wear my polos. I wear a nicer shirt. And I always like to wear my lanyard. I call that my little security, because it is an identifier for me to know that I'm just not some random person coming to knock on the door. I have an NASB blue lanyard with my license on it so that I can show my license at the door to start building my credibility at the door. So you want to wear that lanyard. If you do not have one, NASB Inc. has them. They're like $1.60 something. Very cheap. They ship within a few days. You'll have it within a week. You want to have that lanyard, or you can run to Walmart and get a little badge reel, and you can pin that to your shirt and wear that if you do not like the lanyard. That way you can have your state license on them. And I also keep my business card on the other side. So you do want to have something identifying you for when you go to that door. You also want to be smiling. You want to have open body language. I go to every door with my iPad in hand, and I'm not going to be standing there cross-armed, hugging my iPad like I'm scared to death. I'm going to have that open body language. I'm also going to knock aggressively, not like I'm the police with a search warrant, but I'm knocking on purpose. Seniors cannot hear. You will knock on so many doors that people are probably there, but you did not knock loud enough, or you did not knock long enough. So make sure that you do that. Knock 2 doors if you see them, because majority of seniors, they'll have one door blocked off with a dresser and everything else, right? They're hoarders sometimes. So make sure that you're knocking multiple doors if you see them, and you're knocking with a purpose. I will knock, I'll take a step back, and I'll wait a few minutes. I'll call out, Mary, Mary. I'll look in windows. I'm smiling. People in the yard next door looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm hollering her name. But if she hears me hollering her name, she is 10 times more likely to open that door than if someone's just standing there knocking, right? Because she thinks, I should know that person. They know my name. I'm going to let this person in. So make sure that you're knocking. I will knock 4 or 5 times. I'll stand back. I'll wait. And then I will walk slowly back to my car. That way, a lot of times seniors take time to get to the door. If you're racing back to your car because you didn't think anybody was home, take a little bit slower walk. A lot of times seniors will catch you if you didn't wait quite long enough, if you will walk slowly back to your car. Also, calling out the client's name, you have to do it. That is where people are going to open the door for you, if you're calling out their name. So let's break down the door approach. It is very simple, and you're going to say the same thing at every single door because this is the key to getting in. The 4 A's. You have to announce, apologize, assign, and assume. Okay? So you're going to announce, Mary, hey Mary, I'm Mekayla with North American. I'm so sorry I'm just now coming to see you. Or so sorry to catch you off guard. I'm here to go over the 2024 state regulated benefits that you requested. Let me run to my car, grab my folder and my business cards. I'll be right back. Now I'm taking off. I'm there on a mission, creating urgency at the door, right? So I'm going to be quick at the door, and I'm going to be quick to take off to go back to my car. By me doing that, that is going to help cut down on any objections. We know time kills a sale in the house. Time kills the approach at the door. You have to be quick, on purpose, with a purpose. You're going to run back to your car. So announce, Mary, hey Mary, I'm Mekayla with North American. So sorry I haven't come to see you sooner, or so sorry to catch you off guard, whichever one you like best. I've been the one assigned to go over the 2024 state regulated benefits that you requested. Let me run to my car, grab this information for you. I'll be right back. I'm assuming my way in. I'm going to give you a couple tips. If you're at the door and they have, the screen door that's locked, because majority of our seniors, if they're home and they have one of those, both those doors are going to be locked, right? Well, they'll open the big door and they're going to see somebody that they don't know. They may not want to open that screen door. So if you will really lower your voice where they can't hear you, they're going to open that screen door, and then you're more than likely to get in. When they open that screen door, I'll go ahead and put my foot to hold that screen door open for me to be able to talk with Miss Johnson. So if she's opened that big door, but not the screen door, I'm going to lower my voice because I don't want her to be able to hear me. Every time I've used it, I've gotten in, and they always joke about how they didn't realize how hard of hearing they are. And I'm like, well, I didn't either, didn't even know you were that hard of hearing, knowing good and well that I was doing that on purpose. Now, of course, if I hear a dog barking, I may not want to get that door open depending upon the dog, but use that. It truly does work. It's called the screen door whisper. AJ Ridout taught it at our boot camp. And it's epic. Every time I've used it, I've gotten in, I'll text them every time. Like it's a gem. It works. Make sure that you're using it. Just lower that voice and they will open that door, and then you're more than likely to get in because they've already opened that door. So the 4 A's are super simple. You do kind of want to go in order because it is set up for a purpose, but you want to announce, you want to say who you are, apologize, because that will help take their guard down, because you have caught them off guard. They had no idea you were coming. They don't know who you are, why you're there. But apologizing is automatically going to take their guard down a little bit. And then you want to assign what you're there for. They requested you. So I am here to go over those 2024 state regulated benefits that you requested. Let me run to my car, grab this information for you and my cards. I'll be right back. And I take off, a little skip to my car. because I am busy, right? Got a lot of people to see today. All right, here's the approach just written out. So Mary, hey Mary, so sorry to catch you off guard. I'm Mekayla, local benefits coordinator licensed by the state. I'm here to go over those state regulated benefits that you requested. Good news, we got you pre-approved. Let me run grab that information. I'll be right back. I'm not waiting on a yes or a no. I am automatically assuming she requested me. I took time to come out here. She's going to listen to me go over this information with her. You got to have that urgency in your door approach. So when it comes to getting objections are completely normal. Everybody gets objections. I get objections. Laura Boynton gets objections. Every single person in this business gets objections, but they are typically a smokescreen. So what that means is they don't know who you are or why you're there. You've caught them off guard. They're probably in their pajamas. Their house is not clean, so they don't want somebody in there, right? So you have to be quick when it comes to these objections, because 9 times out of 10, they are not legit objections. So people will say different things like, now's not a good time. I'm busy. My dog's sick. I already got all that taken care of by the person on the phone that called me 15 times yesterday. They don't know why you're there. You want to have a couple different objection stoppers in your back pocket. You want to be quick with these. I 9 times out of 10 use the same one, and this is my favorite one. I use it for everything. It may not always make sense, but it works. Ms. Johnson, that's great. That's exactly why they sent me. Your dog just had to go to the hospital for something? I'm so sorry, Ms. Johnson. That's great, but listen, that's probably exactly why they sent me. Let me run grab my stuff out of the car. I'll be right back. And I'm taking off to my car. You got Medicare, Medicaid? That's great. That's exactly why they sent me. Let me run grab my stuff out of the car. I'll be right back. Someone's already came by. Perfect. That's going to make my job so much easier. Let me run grab this stuff out of my car. I'll be right back. I use that all the time. I don't care what it is. And it typically always works, because that first objection you get is normally a smokescreen. They don't want you in their house. They haven't had a shower. They're in their pajamas. Maybe they're cooking breakfast. It's so easy to overcome as long as you will give one of these objection stoppers. A good question that we get at the door is always, what is this about? They filled the card out. Maybe it's been a while. They don't remember. Well, Ms. Johnson, we fill the gaps where Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security fall short. 5 main areas: prescription, dental, vision, hearing, state regulated life insurance. Let me run grab my stuff out of the car. I'll be right back. I follow up any objection that I try to overcome with, let me run grab my stuff. I'll be right back, because that's going to help you get into the door, because you're eliminating that extra time at the door. Someone's so busy, but they are in their pajamas still, and Maury's on TV. They are not busy. That is just a smokescreen objection. Give me just a few minutes, Ms. Johnson, to go over this information with you so home office knows what I'm doing. Let me run grab this stuff out of my car. I'll be right back. And I'm taking off. Another one, when I see somebody that may be younger, maybe they're not on Medicare, Medicaid, so they think that this doesn't apply to them. You know what? This information you may not need now, but you're probably going to need later. So let me go grab this information for you so I can go over it with you, and you'll have this information as well as my business card moving forward. Let me run my car. I'll be right back. These objection stoppers will work for pretty much any objection that you get at the door. My number one favorite is great. That's exactly why they sent me. Because people will try to tell you anything to get out of having to sit down, right? Even though they request this information, they truly need somebody to sit down and go over it with them. But people don't like to make time for that stuff, right? So you have to get quick with these objection stoppers, or you won't get into doors, because people are going to give you smokescreen objections at almost every door. So you have to learn to overcome these. Just because someone throws something like that at you, they're not telling you no. They're just unsure why you're there. Maybe they're not prepared for someone to come into their house. It is very little things that can be overcome. So you really have to work at these objections to get strong at them so that you can get into the door. But the number one thing you want to keep in mind is that if you are struggling to get in the door, do not keep struggling. Call your coach. Hey, Adrian, I've had 10 approaches today, haven't gotten to a single one. What am I doing wrong? Let me give you my approach. Or let me send you the recording of my approaches so far. because we can think that we're saying one thing at the door, but when we get really nervous, we say something completely different, right? So we could be saying something every single time at the door that we're not even realizing that's stopping us from getting into the door. Maybe you're not assuming it. Maybe you're not pronouncing their first name so they feel like you don't even know who they are. Maybe you're not introducing yourself, or maybe you're not assigning it back to them. A lot of people miss the apology, and that truly does help take that guard down. I'm so sorry I just now got out here to see you. I'm so sorry to catch you off guard. Whichever one you like best. It's so nice to finally meet you. That's one that the 9 o'clock call uses a lot. That's a great one. Whichever one fits best with how you want to do it. I always say, I'm so sorry I'm just now coming out here to see you. That's always what I've said. It's worked great for me. So you want to know these objection stoppers, because like I said, you're going to get objections at the door. Does anybody have any questions or any objections that they've gotten recently that they want to share so that we can maybe just overcome them live? Pull up the chat. Anybody got anything? Or is everybody having major success at the door?
I have one, Mekayla.
Yes.
A lot of times, this is Crystal. A lot of times the people that I get is that they say, oh, I didn't fill this out. Or if it's like a digital lead or something, like, how do you approach that and say, because technically they didn't fill it out because they did it online. So whereas if they have the direct mailers, like, how would you overcome that? What do you say to them? Or if it's like some of the leads I have are like they did it a year or two ago. So like, how do you broach that?
Yeah, so I will tell you a fun fact about me. I started in this business when we had an overflow of platinum leads, which is brand new leads, right? I became a lead snob. I love platinum leads. If I didn't have platinum leads, I ain't working them old leads, right? Well, platinum leads kind of went away for a while. COVID hit, changed the leads for just a little bit, and my only choice was to work metal leads. Now into this business, I only work metal leads and integrity leads. I do not buy platinums just because the ROI for me has been phenomenal with metal leads. And I would prefer lots of opportunity for $35 versus one. So I always work those, and I don't have that objection because I don't allow it. And I'll tell you how I try to avoid it. Now, it doesn't work every time, but majority of the time it works. So when I go to the door with a digital lead, I'm not showing that lead. And I have completely taken out, is this your signature? Because a lot of our leads now are digital. So when I go to the door, I'm saying, Mary, hey, Mary, I'm Mekayla with North American. So sorry, I'm just now getting out here to see you. I'm here to go over the 2024 state regulated benefits you requested. And let me just confirm, this is 123 Main Street. Okay. And your phone number was 91854. Perfect. Listen, I got your packet in the car. Let me grab this information for you. I'll be right back. So if you do get that type of objection, you can throw out identifiers, but I'm not going to show the lead right off the bat, because a lot of times if you are confident and you are assuming your way in, they will not throw that back out at you. So when someone says, oh, I didn't fill that out, I say, oh, someone must have filled it out on your behalf. That's exactly why they sent me. Let me grab my stuff out of the car so I can leave this information with you. I'll be right back. Crystal, I do have a question. Are you carrying all your stuff to the door? I know there's some people that do that and it works for them. That has never worked for me because I do very awkward and silence. So if I carry my stuff and I'm like waiting for them to say yes, I don't get in. So I have to have an escape, if that makes sense. So when I go to the door and I knock and I do my approach, if I already have my stuff there, I'm probably not going to get in because I got to have some urgency. I got to run back to my car, grab this information for you. I'll be right back. So what are you typically doing right now? Are you carrying your information? You running back to your car?
Yeah, so I usually just carry my iPad, but I've never tried let me run back to my car thing. I think maybe out of fear that they're going to be like, no, I'm not interested. Or I don't know. I guess not that I didn't see the point in it, but I was always just like, well, like I have a binder that I keep the value sheets and the trifold in. So when I do make a sale, I go and grab that at the end. So maybe I could start trying that. Like I say, oh, let me run back to my car and get that. So I have it ahead of time. And that way I don't have to run into the car later. But yeah, it's usually just my iPad.
Try that out. Yeah, no, take your iPad. That's perfect. You want to have that up there because you do want to have their information right in front of you. I cannot remember a name after 1 minute. So if I look at my lead and it says Tony, I'm going to get to the door and I'm like, what is her name? I have to have my iPad because we want to have that up there. That's like my security at the door, holding on to my iPad like it's going to do something if I need it. But that is my security blanket at the door. But leave your stuff in the car. That's great. And use that. So when you knock, you want to say, Mary, hey, Mary, I'm Crystal with North American. So sorry. I'm just now coming out here to see you. I'm here to go over the 2024 state regulated benefits you requested. Listen, let me run to my car and grab this information for you, and I'll be right back. Okay. Take off running. You're not asking, you're not going to say, do you mind if I run to my car real quick? No, you're going to tell her you're there on purpose, for purpose. You got urgency. You have a lot of people to see. You can't waste a lot of time. So you want to have that quickness at the door, and that will help cut down on those objections. If they throw something else out after that, like, oh, I didn't request that, that's fine. Someone must have done it for you. That's exactly why they sent me. I just need to leave this information with you. Let me go grab my stuff out of the car. I'll be right back. So try that and see. Text me if it makes a difference. Try it out today. I would love to know. Let's see. Let me pull up the chat. Y'all, I got a computer and I do not know how to use it. I can't figure out how to use the mouse. Let's see. All right. So Monica, she did that. I didn't request this. That's not my signature. I clicked the wrong thing. I literally will say, that's perfectly fine. That's probably exactly why they sent me. Listen, let me grab this information for you. I'll be right back. And I turn and walk away. They probably think this woman is crazy. She is stupid, but it truly does work. Great. That's exactly why they sent me. Listen, let me just drop this information off with you. I'll be right back. So we got Taylor that says, I'm babysitting my newborn grandbaby. I'll say, you know what? That's perfectly fine. I just had a baby last year. I'll keep my voice down. We'll sit down in the living room or at the kitchen table, whichever one works best for you. Let me go grab this stuff. I'll be right back. Just because they have a newborn baby, I'm not going to be breathing all over the baby. I'll keep my voice down. We'll be quiet. But this is very important information. Even write that newborn baby if they're 2 weeks old. So you don't want to let something like that stop you from getting into the house. So that's perfectly fine. I'll keep my voice down. Let me run to the car and grab this information for you. I'll be right back. Use that as your escape. Let me run, grab this information for you. I'll be right back. All right. So Camilla said, after you grab your stuff from the car and come back, they say they're not interested anymore. So I'll say, oh, what are you not interested in? Because they have no idea truly why I'm there. So ask them, what are you not interested in? Okay, so you don't want to know if you qualify for the SHIP program. You didn't need any help when it comes to your dental, vision, hearing, out of cost expenses. And then you, of course, are not overpaying for your life insurance. So you don't have that wrong type that's not going to pay out when you pass away. They don't know what they're not interested in. So I always ask them, what are you not interested in? Listen, this information, you may not need it now. Maybe you're not interested in it now, but you're probably going to need it later. Let me go over this information with you, leave it with you and my contact information so you'll have it moving forward. That typically, it starts the FOMO. They're afraid that they're going to miss out on something now if they do not sit down and talk to you. Maybe they don't need the information now, but they're going to need it later. So let's go ahead and go over that so I can give you this contact information and you'll have all this moving forward. All right, Laura said that she treats leads like a neighbor knock that does not have a lead. She don't show, ask about signature. Yeah, Laura uses that same rebuttal. Laura doesn't work lead. She actually trained Taylor, brand new agent, started Monday. They worked Monday, Tuesday, thanked it over like 5,000 or 6,000 in 2 days and did not work a single lead. They were just picking houses that they felt like seniors lived at and wrote over 6,000 in 2 days. It's all about the confidence at the door. If you are very confident in yourself, Ms. Johnson is going to be very confident. And then you have to have your approach down. You got to know little ways to come over those small objections because you're always going to get objections. So you have to learn little rebuttals to overcome those. Like, great, Ms. Johnson, your dog's sick. That's exactly why they sent me. Let me run grab my stuff. I'll be right back. I'll Google pet insurance for her. I'll help her out that way, right? That's just a great one-liner that you can say for majority of things. All right, Crystal said, I'm good. I've got enough benefits. I'm not changing anything. That's a hard objection that can be really hard to overcome at the door. I always use, that's great, Ms. Johnson. You probably do have everything. That is going to make my job so much easier. Let me just grab this information for you and my contact card so I can leave it with you. I'll be right back. And I go back to my car. So if they have enough benefits, they're not changing anything, that is going to make my job so much easier, Miss Johnson. Thank you. Let me run grab this stuff out of my car. I'll be right back. And those are the people that typically need your help the most. The ones that think they know it all and they have it all are typically the ones that do not have what they think they have, and the ones that you can typically help the most. Brittany Payton said, someone already came by. I'm good. Great. That's going to make my job so much easier that someone's already came by. Listen, let me go grab this stuff out of my car so I can leave this information with you and my contact card. That way you'll have it moving forward. I'll be right back. Taking off to my car. It's going to make my job so much easier. Someone already sat down and went over this. Perfect. I'm just going to recap real quick. Let me run grab this stuff. I'll be right back. Because once you get in that door, you can start your connecting so that you can build value, urgency, likability that it takes to make a sale if there's a sale there. So if you're turning away at all these doors, someone else that's stronger at the door is just coming and getting in. So you have to be super strong at the door so you can get in these presentations. So Crystal said, now it's not a good time. That can go one of two ways. If they physically look like they are leaving or they are really busy, you can tell, right? So you may want to schedule an appointment to come back, and that's fine. But if they come to the door and they tell me now it's not a good time, and like I said, they're in their pajamas and the TV's blaring, or they're just sitting on their front porch doing nothing, obviously it's a perfect time. So I will say, you know what? It's not going to take that long. Give me just a few minutes to go over this information with you. I'll be right back. Brittany said that she loves that line. She uses it daily. You're going to make my job so much easier. Yes, because you will sit with people that get you confused with people that do Medicare, Medicaid, and they think that you're just calling or coming to see them about that. And they've already had 15 calls. They're good. They're not changing. So I always say, great, that's going to make my job so much easier. And it truly does work because we're there to help with a whole lot more than that. So you do want to use that to be able to get into those houses, to capture those people that you could be missing if you're just surrendering and walking away from those objections. So really hone in on, the few different objection stoppers that you like best, that are easier for you to say or you feel like apply better. You do want to have them kind of in your back pocket so that you can be quick with them at the door, because it's typically a smoke screen. Once you overcome one objection, you're in the door. So make sure that you are using those. Does anybody else have any questions or any scenarios